Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Today we're talking all about how being fake is actually draining your energy. Okay. This maintenance of a false self, this performer self, the version of you who's the coolest, most badass version, and you maintaining that is going to create a persona fatigue. It's going to create a drain. So let's kind of stretch this out and start to understand of these inner architectures. And remember, the greatest human energy is not from labor, not from heartbreak, not even from crisis. It's the chronic, invisible daily tension of maintaining this false self, this performative self who we think we should be based on what society wants from us instead of our authentic selves, instead of aligning with who we actually are. Okay? Shout out to Ganapati, Ganesha. I had a Ganesha channeling last night. If you'd like the recording to that, send me a message personally because I would have to ask the deity before I send that forward to you. Okay. Now, of course, right now, this is available to all adepts. So if you want to sign up, go to primalsutramysteryschool.com. Okay. Having said that, let's start with today's video. Okay. Let's start with the idea of scatteredness and accidents. Have you ever wondered why some people are more accident prone, right? It's not because of bad luck, it's bad inner wiring. A scattered mind is like a house full of open doors during a storm. Everything gets blown around. And fatigue and constant micro mishaps don't come from the outside world, they come from within, from living in a state of unconscious psychic irritation with no center, no axis. So people burn out not because of fatigue or they're too busy, but because they're busy being aimless. They're busy for the sake of being busy. Life isn't breaking them down, they're collapsing under their own fragmented selves, their pretend selves. And stimulants don't get me started on that, right? I used to drink so much caffeine. Now I've cut down a lot. Caffeine doesn't give you energy, guys. It whips your body like an old tired horse, forcing it to keep running. And just like that old horse, your soul keeps getting flogged for performance. The body will eventually rebel. That overdrive mode we glorify as grind culture, hustle culture, is just an accelerated entropy in disguise. You aren't speeding up your success, you're speeding up your breakdown. You're mortgaging your vitality with every cup of coffee that masks a misaligned life. Another paradox is athletes and overambition. Why do so many Olympic level bodies crack in midlife? Because even the strongest machine collapses under relentless pressure. It's not strength that kills you, it's imbalance. What modern man calls discipline is often an egoic frenzy, right? A nervous obsession with being someone instead of learning how to be. So longevity isn't built through domination. It's built through a measured harmony with inner law, and ego pressure is a thief, not just of your energy, but of your essence. That constant need to prove, to push, to posture. That's not divine willpower. That's just spiritual hemorrhaging. And it's why so many people feel hollow at the top of the mountain. They got there dragging a false self behind them. And by the time they arrive to the top of the mountain, the true self is malnourished, almost dead. Modern people aren't tired because they're working too hard. They're tired because they're living wrong. We're not exhausted by labor, guys. We've been doing labor since the Middle Ages, right? We're eaten alive by the mental noise, the spiritual confusion, the emotional pretense, right? As Manly P. Hall called it, the neurotic drain of modern life. It's not physical fatigue, it's an existential depletion. People go to sleep every night more exhausted from the performance of life than from the experience of life. And purpose is the lost nutrient. Ask someone what they truly want to do, and you'll hear stammering, you'll hear vague ambitions, You'll hear borrowed dreams. Most people haven't failed their own goals. They've never had real goals. Not one's born of their soul. Without a cause, you begin to rot from the inside. But a true cause, a soul-rooted why, that ikigai, it will build structure in your mind, fire in your heart, and years in your life. Let's talk about causes. If you're unconsciously defending a lie, you will drain your own life force. The more deeply we invest in hollow goals or fake identities or, cultural falsehoods, the more we begin to shrink. A false cause eats at you from within, and a real one fortifies you. It doesn't need public approval. It just grows in secret. Using willpower like a battering ram is like yelling into a phone to be heard. It's ineffective and obnoxious. Real mastery is like a trained singer who knows the tone, breath, subtlety matters more than just yelling into a microphone. The warrior doesn't win by screaming louder. He wins by being still enough to feel the right moment to act. Which brings us to the Zen of effortlessness, the flow state. The great paradox is real effortlessness. The great paradox is this: real effortlessness requires precision, not laziness. It requires alignment. And when your actions are in harmony with your principles, you'll notice you don't burn out, you burn brighter. When you're aligned, you stop needing to defend truth because truth doesn't defend itself, it reveals itself when you stop blocking it. We're not talking about pushing harder for you to be unique. We're talking about the inner strength that arises when the storm settles and your real voice can finally speak. The kind of individuality that isn't a performance, it's an integration, it's a relaxing into what you were before the world told you who to be. If you fall apart when you rest, that's not a sign to push harder. It's a red flag of internal chaos. A whole human gets stronger in rest. Stillness becomes a forge, not a collapse. Rest isn't weakness. It's where the true alignment is felt most clearly, in your baseline, right? If you're scared of silence, it means the false self knows it can't survive it. If you stay rooted in principle, the earth will move around you. The aligned vessel, not the overachiever. So here's your jewel gem of the day. The greatest waste of energy is the effort to maintain a false self. Let that one hit. The true self is efficient. Ego is extravagant. Truth conserves and ego consumes. And if you want your energy back, your power back, stop trying to be somebody and start trying to become nobody in particular. Just aligned, just home, just completely you and only you and nobody else. So be it. Swaha. Thank you for watching. May the flow be with you. Have an incredible rest of your day. And I'll speak soon with you all. Let's get it today. Upward Spiral Gang. To infinity and beyond. Osa. Let's go.